Hey everyone, Chloe here, and welcome back to this feminine community. And if you are new here, ladies and lurkers and ear hustlers, welcome. So, I wanted to talk about the very triggering topic of submission and of women submitting. And yes, I have talked about submitting on this channel before, and my views have always been less about submission and more about a romantic relationship being in order. As many of you know, I am hypergamous to the bone, which is why I have my website, The Hypergamous Life. And most women are wired to be hypergamous, as it is in the nature of women to want security, stability, protection, provision, and dare I say, some form of masculine covering, which is why so many women, in their attempts to impress men, are so anti-women and are so male identified, to the point of becoming pygmies and dust bunnies and feminine chameleons, even when the dusty men who love arguing about submission are more inclined to be destroyers than they are builders. Now, this viral video discussion on the topic of submission is a very fried, grill flamed, and a very burnt topic, and isn't anything new. But just to do a bit of house cleaning, and before the unhinged nut jobs try to run to the comments, although I am hypergamous to the bone, what two people ultimately decide to do in their romantic relationship, whether pick me, dusty, role reversal, mother cub dynamic, 50-50 or otherwise, is their personal choice, and it really isn't up for debate, as all of these relationship dynamics will come with their own consequences. However, for some strange, odd reason, the general public at large, and especially the Black community, seems to be super pressed and super fascinated with the recycled and the rehashed trigger word submission. Perhaps it gives the boys and girls of the internets something to argue about every 2.5 business days, but this viral discussion, need I remind you, is from one woman's point of view, and energetically, it is a point of view that I simply do not agree with. Now, as for this video and for a bit of background, the lovely Jazzy Brown was asked about her thoughts about submission in regards to her relationship with NFL player Cam Newton, where she is, in my opinion, very heavy-handedly describing submission as going above and beyond to cater to a man's ego, on the road to perhaps trying to earn her number one position and possibly trying to earn the title of wife. And in my opinion, it's giving very male identified, and in a very cringe kind of public way, I will discuss the whys in this video. Again, her choice, and again, perhaps acts of service could very well be her love language. And by the way, as a feminine woman, all women should both understand their own love language and the love language of their partner when creating harmony in romance. As a wife, I completely understand my husband's love language, and as a husband, my husband completely understands my hypergamous love language as well. But love languages are not to be confused with submission. Now, in terms of criticism, and I've said this before on my channel, but another woman's romantic choices should not make other people so upset. But it is no secret that a lot of people on the internet, they need a Snickers, they need to pipe down, and of course, there are always going to be a mixture of broke, hurting, and hating, scorned dusties, crunchy wigs, and overall ugly spirits who will hate from the outside of the hypergamous club that they cannot get in. But from what I understand, Jazzy Brown once held the position of a strong, independent-minded feminist, but is now singing another tune. And let me be the first to say that a woman should be allowed to grow, to change, and to evolve from certain points of view that are no longer serving them, which is why I will say to any woman who is listening, who is ear hustling, you have got to be very careful with becoming a bandwagoneer or a crusader for a certain kind of mindset, because when you commit to a certain kind of dogma, the bloodhound internets will not allow you to change your mind. They will not allow you to grow, and they will hold a candle to what you said, even if it was performative, and they will hold a candle to what you said, even if you said it 1,000 years ago. So be also very careful about allowing the internets to put a battery in your back And be also very careful with becoming short-sighted by putting your very strong opinions out on Front Street, because those echo chamber strong opinions have a way of backfiring, because the internet in many ways can be very unforgiving. So as a woman, never put yourself in a navel gazing a position where your words will be dissected, vultured, and picked apart, especially when you have not sealed the deal. So yes, Jazzy is allowed to change her mind. And Jazzy, like so many other women, will often talk that performative feminist talk in the streets, but will be a pick-me in those sheets, doing the bait and switch or shape-shifting or becoming a feminine chameleon when the hypergamous opportunity presents itself is called self-preservation and isn't anything new. There are plenty of women who will shape-shift for the bag. But with that being said, here are some of my thoughts about what was said and my overall thoughts on being submissive from a feminine perspective. Now, I've mentioned this before on my channel, but I will say this again so that you ear hustlers can understand the rules of the hypergamous game. But for the love of Yahweh, keep your mouth closed and please close the deal before you speak. Ladies, if you are trying to hypergamously land a whale, and you know what a whale is, never ever publicly play your hand before you seal the deal, as your public revelations on your romantic relationships can high-key backfire when you come to the realization that your man perhaps does not feel the same way about you that you feel about him. This viral clip reminds me of the woman who put her engagement business out too soon on Front Street, advising women and handing out tips before she was even able to secure the deal herself. All in all, let's just hope that Cam Newton is just as deeply in love with her as Jazzy Brown appears to be in love with him. Now, a lot of feathers will be ruffled to hear this, but the same women who are so eager to hear your thoughts about how to keep your man will be the same women who will laugh you down and clown you if and when your man dumps you or when things do not work out. So please, for the love of God, do not put the cart before the horse. Strategically, ladies, you must move in stealth and in silence. Another thought: never publicly lay claim to a man before he lays claim to you. In my opinion, old girl is definitely virtue signaling in an attempt to get Cam Newton to go public with their relationship. By the way, this entire interview does position Cam as the prize to be coveted, chased, hard fought for, and won. So as of right now, this interview energetically is giving why buy the cow when you could get the milk for free on the road to placeholder energy. So ladies, be very careful with your virtue signaling. Ladies, my thoughts on submission. Submission is not mothering, mommying, being an honorary doormat, coddling for the coin, nor is it catering to a man's ego just because he's male. Submission is not about grooming a man into seeing your worth. Submission is the natural order of a man's masculine divine pouring into the feminine divine in a way that will inevitably turn into a bond of trust, safety, and covering, not being Farnsworth Bentley. Full submission, ladies, can never truly happen if a woman cannot trust that you do not have her best interest. Also, in this very rehashed and recycled conversation, you will find that the men who are out of order, these are the men who cannot provide, are 99.99 of the bottom of the barrel men who are obsessed in talking about submission because they so desperately want to be worshipped, revered, and respected without having to earn it. These are the men who tend to pervert, distort, and pretzel twist the meaning of the word submission to be akin to slavery, kissing the ring, kissing a man's feet, and catering to a man's maleness, even when he's dusty, unaccomplished, and or abusive. Another thought: ladies, do not confuse unhealed inner little girl / codependency with submission. When a woman isn't aware of her own needs, she will be duped into behaving like the sacrificial lamb who has to competitively earn a position into a man's life. And when a man is out of order, he will weaponize your desperation and your eagerness to please and will work you over like a part-time hustle. Ladies, submission is unspoken and will come naturally when a man is in order. Another thought, ladies, do you view him as the prize? Or do you view yourself as the prize? A woman who sees herself as the prize will never have to poke, prod, chase, hover, hoover, cajole, maneuver, virtue signal, nor will they have to manipulate a man into seeing their value. When you learn how to accept that the sperm will always chase the egg, you will understand that as a woman, it is a man's responsibility to impress you and not the other way around. Having this feminine mindset alone is a game changer, ladies. So stop allowing these struggle sewer clowns that love arguing for attention to confuse and cloud your mindset because they are not the prize. Another feminine mindset to have, never play the game to lose. The fear of losing a whale. And for those of you who don't know what a whale is a highly, highly successful and accomplished man. This fear of losing is what will often cause a woman to treat a man like he's the prize. But that is what I call playing the game to lose. Ladies, when you do the inner work of knowing your worth and seeing yourself as a feminine winner, your ability to walk away from the placeholder table of what is being served will make you powerful beyond measure in your feminine. Ladies, we do not get men to chase us by doing everything for them. We get men to chase us when we know our feminine power. So that is all that I have to say on this for now. Submission, for the most part, in my opinion, is a beautiful unspoken dance that will never need to be forced and will happen naturally between the masculine and the feminine divine when a man is a builder and when a woman is a lover. So ladies and lurkers, why are broke men so obsessed with the word submission? Do you know your own love language? And why are so many women so hungry for the cookie of male approval? And as always, I look forward to reading your responses to this video below. And stay tuned for more cautionary tales to come. And I will catch up with you ladies and lurkers and ear hustlers in the next one.